two seniors tonight have spent a great deal of time in this program and in volleyball in general in the township of Upper St. Clair. And we'll begin with Allison McLean. Escorted by her parents, Dave and Judy McLean, also accompanied by her grandparents, Carolyn and James McLean, who made the trek all the way from Mount Lebanon for this. Allie has been playing competitive volleyball for 8 years. She's currently plays the left side hitter position for the Panthers. She's played club volleyball for 2 years with the Penn Juniors program and has played on the USC varsity squad since her freshman year. Her most memorable moment in volleyball was beating Mount Lebanon way back in her sophomore year. In the academic line, Allie is on the National Honor Society and having achieved highest honors 6 times. And players is senior Christina Zanuck, wearing uniform number 4, escorted by her parents Dorothy and Evan Zanuck, and up in the stands is also her younger brother, freshman at Upper St. Clair, George. Christina has played volleyball for 6 years, beginning in the Fort Couch program, and currently plays our libero position as the defensive specialist and has played as a defensive specialist for the 6 years she's been playing. She also plays lacrosse in the springtime, where she's been recognized as an academic All-American. She also plays a little bit of basketball and likes to spend time with family and friends. In the academic line, Christina has made National Honor Society and highest honor roll. She has future plans to attend college, but again is undecided at this point. She was in the National Helpers Club here at Upper St. Clair, in the Spanish Club, and in the SADD Students Against Destructive Decisions Club. And this completes Christina's illustrious career here as a Panther. How about a big round of applause for Christina? Woo! Down in front. Woo! Woo! Number dog! Woo! Athletic Director, Mr. Ted Peterson.
I love you! Thursday!
And special thanks to Ms. Nancy Euler, who spent countless hours watching every home match and keeping the statistics right over here at the scorer's table. Nancy, thank you very much. And we couldn't have done any of this without Coach Jennifer Hughes and her assistant coaches, Erica Russman and Amy Bach. Your officials for tonight's game, the umpires, Nancy Patterson, the referee on the platform will be Debbie McSwiggan.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the gym at Upper St. Clair High School, home of the Panthers, for what will be the last girls volleyball night of the season. It's Wednesday, October 19th. My name is Kevin McGahey, and my cameraman will be Will Forrester for the night, as we bring you the contest between the Panthers of Upper St. Clair and the Vikings of Hopewell. Hopewell comes in here having had quite a season. They're actually ranked number 1 in AA in Whoopial, and apparently have a 5th. Yeah, they got as high as 5th ranking in the state of Pennsylvania. This should prove to be a very interesting contest with a couple of quality clubs out here. Looks like Upper St. Clair has won the toss, and sophomore Caitlin McGahey will start off the serving. This is game number 1 of a best-of-5 match. Games are played to 25. The first one to 25 by 2 wins the game. First team to win 3 games takes the match. It's been senior recognition night here. We're starting a little bit late, but it's not all that awful. We had 2 seniors. We'll see them both in action tonight. Number 3 is Allie McLean, playing her last match for the Panthers, and the libero, number 4, wearing the different colored jersey. That'll be Christina Zanuck, and Caleb McGahey puts it over on the opening serve. Hopewell takes advantage of a very nice set. And Caitlin Brown jams it back on the Upper St. Clair side. Hopewell draws first blood at 1-0. Stephanie Jones to Katie Kennedy to Katie Mahenko. And sure enough, off the right hand of Kelsey Armaheiser of the Vikings, that's all knotted up now. 1-1 very early in game number one. Sophomore Katie Kennedy, number 2, takes the serving for Upper St. Clair. Set and attack attempt into a block by Upper St. Clair, and the carry called on Hopewell. Number 20 for Hopewell. That's freshman Jen Munoz got up way high for that attack into the St. Clair block, and point to the Panthers. They have an early lead at 2-1. Long way to go in this contest, though. Overpass that time by Hopewell into the net, and extremely difficult to dig out once it gets in there. Hopewell not able to do that, and now there's a nice 3-point run going on for the Panthers. Katie Kennedy once again with the serve. Didn't quite have the draw on at that time. Dribbles off the left side of her wrist into the net. Way low on that one. That's a side out and point to the Hopewell Vikings. Trailing by 1, 3-2. Very early game number one of this best-of-5 match. That's junior Becky Novacek with a serve for Hopewell. Megan McLean dumps it right over the net, keeps the ball in play. Handled nicely by the Vikings. Now there's that overpass again, but that time handled by the Panthers. Allie McLean helped dig that one out and keep the ball at least in play off the St. Clair block. Katie Mahenko. That's legal. You can actually perform the block, and then the sequence of 3 hits starts. And Katie Mahenko saw that the back line was way open that time. Hoisted it back and found an empty spot. Side out and point to the Panthers now with senior Allie McLean taking up the serve. Over nicely handled by the Hopewell Vikings. Jessie Nelko hoisted it back over. That's Stephanie Jones up high for the Panthers. Off a beautiful set, finds a spot over on the Hopewell side, and that's another point for the Panthers with an early 5-2 lead. There's a long way to go in this, but it's encouraging at least. Allie McLean with an ace. That one died. You could see the heavy topspin on that. It landed right in front of Hopewell's number 12, junior Becky Novacek. Now open up a 4-point lead for the Panthers at 6-2. Same kind of a serve, but handled that time by Annie Fedorov of Hopewell. Point there to the Hopewell Vikings. That's a side out. Heads over to their side where the serving chores for Hopewell. Allie McLean digs it out to Katie Kennedy to Katie Mahenko off the Hopewell block. Dumped it back over, but handled by the Vikings. Hoisted back over on the third ball. Megan McLean takes the set that time. Katie Mahenko one more time into the Hopewell block. Which returned back to the St. Clair side, but falls out of bounds. Side out. Looks like can do it. That's Well, we're back after a timeout. Game number one here. This best of five. Both the substitution. The wrong way. Good look at it. That senior Jesse Nelko made sure that one stayed down. Claire polyurethane, 5-point lead. Again achieved by the Hopewell. been working all night long. Use it more. Just of 25 Caitlin. And I hope we'll let that go. Becky. Block and just Jones in the stab at it, but that one falls, and it's now the Hopewell just got those 2 points. 19 timeout. Serve. Oh, that was blocked nicely. Katie Kennedy almost had it, but that was a double hit off her wrist, off her chest. Can't do that in this game. At 24-21, Hopewell, and the St. Clair Panthers right now. Henkel gives it a shot, didn't quite make it work that time. Another. Well, doesn't give them much to work with, and Allie McLean had that, but it went into the net, and that finishes number 2. Evens up the match at 1 game apiece. St. Clair won the first one, 25-22. Number 2, 25-21. After a 3-minute break, we'll be right back for game number 3. We are back to open up game number 3 of this best of 5 set. It's Upper St. Clair versus Hopewell again. Caitlin McGahee, sophomore, starts off with the serve, and sure enough, Hopewell takes that first one, slams it down on the St. Clair side. For the first point, they draw first blood in game number 3 of this best of 5 match. It's 1. the Hopewell block. They put it right back, and Katie Mahenko gets up way high for that one to draw first blood now on the St. Clair side. Evens up the match at that's 2 in a row for St. Clair, and another nice start. A 2-1 lead real early in game number 3. Sophomore Katie Kennedy again with a serve. Off the St. Clair block, that's what you want to do. You want to keep it alive. Katie Kennedy over to Allie McLean, had just a little bit too much on it. Calling for a tip, but I don't see official. Went about 2 feet over the back line to Hopewell. That ties it up 2-2. Check with the serve for the Vikings. Oh, that one dribbles right over the net, just like the coach drew it up. The left-hander, Megan McLean, used that tape to her advantage that time, defying the count of gravity to roll that ball over the net and out of the Hopewell side. 3-2 Panthers. Senior Allie McLean, that's her sister, doing the serving chores. And there's the little dump shot. Everybody's expecting the Hopewell to wallop it back with power. Didn't quite happen that time. And number 25, Caitlin Brown, takes up the serve for Hopewell. Meanwhile, there's sophomore Alex Corey on the floor, and senior Allie McLean takes a spot on the bench. Katie Mahenko lofts it over onto the back row. Didn't fool Hopewell that time. Jessie Nelko hoisted it back to St. Clair. Oh, Katie Mahenko thought she saw a space in the back line. Didn't quite fool Hopewell. Christina Zanuck digs it out to Katie Kennedy to Stephanie Jones. And sure enough, that time, there was enough power on that Caitlin Brown couldn't. With the serve. Easy pickings there. Hopewell. That's 23 Jessie Nelko. A senior up high with that attack. Finds an open spot in the St. Clair backline. Kate Mahenko takes a spot on the bench with libero Christina Zanuck back on the floor. Alex Corey to Katie Kennedy. Caitlin McGahee didn't quite get over the top on that one. Lofted back in a 2-ball. Hopewell didn't fool the Panthers, and Megan McLean had a good look at it, but had too much on it. That one goes off the left side and the back line by about 3 or 4 feet out of bounds. Point to Hopewell. Now with the serve for the Vikings. Hopewell now with a 2-point lead at 6-4. Liz Emmerich once again with the serve. Megan McLean puts it back over the net, keeps the ball in play. And that time the set to Jessie. Hopewell didn't quite work. She walloped it into the net. That may be a little bit of gravity doing some work on our part. At the net sometimes works in our favor. Substitution for the Panthers. Sophomore Alex David on the floor, and sophomore Megan McLean takes a quick spot on the bench. Well, 6-5. Game number 3. She got up way high for that, but her attack fell into the net, and that ties up. Davin with the with Alex Davin there. A 4-point run for the Panthers, and the Panthers coach Jen Hughes calls a quick timeout to regroup, and we'll be right back with Hopewell leading 10-9. We are back after a quick timeout with Hopewell on a 4-point run here and a 1-point lead at 10-9. Caitlin McGahee had power on it, but Hopewell recovered nicely, and there's a bit, well, not exactly a back row attack, but kind of by Caitlin one more time. Off the block, somebody's into the net, one of the St. Clair players, either Katie Kennedy or Caitlin McGahee. Going back to Hopewell, they have a 2-point lead now at 11-9. Now's the time for St. Clair to get a side out and a point out of this before this lead gets away from them. The slide play, yeah, the timing was off that time. Didn't quite work that time. But that was Jessie Nelko, the left side hitter, up way high for that one. Found an open spot on the St. Clair back row. 6-point run now for Hopewell and a 3-point lead. 12-9. Alex Corey digs it out. The set from Katie Kennedy to basically nobody. Just keeping the ball in play that time. And a little dump shot. Becky Novacek picked that one wise. Little shot right into the donut hole in the middle of the defense. Finds polyurethane, and that's now a 4-point lead for Hopewell. We got to break this run now, right now. Alex Corey to Katie Kennedy. Stephanie Jones with the attack, but it falls into the net. Not touched by a Hopewell player, or the Panthers could have kept playing it, but now it's 4-point lead for Hopewell. Caitlin dump. Roll over a one-hander. Dribbled off her wrist down to the floor, and now a 7-point lead for Hopewell at 17-10. Game number 3 of this best-of-5 match. Currently resting at 1 game apiece. Becky Novacek up high one more time. Got to break this run and get Becky Novacek to the back line. But so far, Hopewell strung a goodly number of points together here. St. Clair needs to break it right now. Alex Davin to Katie Kennedy to Caitlin McGahee, but right at the back line. Christina Zanuck, Allie McLean, and Caitlin McGahee just keeping the ball in play. Allie McLean with the attack. Dug out by that back line of Hopewell. They've done an excellent job tonight keeping that thing out. And there. Caitlin Brown for Hopewell getting up way high, stretching out their lead now to 19-10. And maintaining the Jessie Nelko continues with the serve for Hopewell. McLean. And that one worked. Finally, we can break that serve. That's a point inside out to the Panthers. An 8-point deficit. Hopewell leading 19-11 here in game. It's also McGahee. See if she can drop one in and get ourselves an ace here. Not that time. Handled nicely by the back line of Hopewell. Little confusion there on that set. Went a little bit too far, actually over the net, but out of bounds. 19-12 Hopewell right now. 7-point deficit for the Panthers. Caitlin McGahee continues with the serve. Back to the back left side, and that overset goes. Whoa, that works out for the Panthers. I thought maybe Katie, but it was a Hopewell player. I'm sorry, it was screened. I can't tell you which one it was, but the Hopewell player into the net. Point for the Panthers, trailing only by 6 now at 19-13. Caitlin Brown with a beautiful attack. That cross-court slice lands right in front of the back line. It's very difficult to defend. 7-point lead for Hopewell at 20-13. And a gift for the Panthers. That one's into the net. From Heather Peck of Hopewell. 6-point deficit for the Panthers. Katie Kennedy now with the serve. Once again, Becky Novacek, so far the star of the game for the Hopewell Vikings. Finally, we get her to the back line. She takes up the serving chores. This might give the Panthers a bit of a break here, now that she can't be using the front row attack. 7-point lead for the Hopewell Vikings at 21-14. Let's hope it's not too late for the Panthers here in Game 3. And Katie Mahenko, 4 hits for Hopewell. Apparently Katie Mahenko did not touch it on that block attempt. More Megan McLean, Allie's younger sister, comes back with that one. Off the Katie Kennedy block. It was only a single block that time. But freshman Grace Novacek hit it off the St. Clair block onto the floor. Point and serve back to Hopewell. Alex Corey back on the floor for the Panthers. Allie McLean takes a seat. Christina Zanuck recovers it. Out. Well, that's nice. Now, Katie Kennedy actually set that one to Grace Novacek of Hopewell, who had a really good whack at it, but put it about 2 feet out of bounds. 22-17 lead for Hopewell. Katie Mahenko with the serve. Off the St. Clair block that time. Jesse Nelko disrupted the flow of the ball just long enough to get some confusion in the St. Clair line. We could not dig it out, and sure enough, it's another point for Hopewell. They're within now 2 of closing out game number 3 of this best of 5 match. 23-17 score right now. The Panthers can just put together a good run of points here. Caitlin McGahee with the slice attack. Did not fool Hopewell. Alex Corey there. Stephanie Jones into the Hopewell block. Did they get it? Oh, that works. Christina Zanuck with a brilliant recovery there. Actually put the defense of the attack back over the net on the Hopewell side, and they shoved it into the net. Substitution now. Megan McLean takes a break, and sophomore Alex Davin in on the floor for some serving chores. 5-point deficit for the Panthers. 23-18 Hopewell. Freshman Grace Novacek fools the back line a little bit, and we've now reached game point for Hopewell. Grace Novacek goes off, switching with Kelsey Armaheiser Jr., who comes in to do the serving chores, and see if Hopewell can finish off game number 3 here. Where Caitlin McGahee saved that one to Katie Kennedy, but that's finished off by Becky Novacek, and Hopewell in definitive fashion finishes out game number 3 at 25-18. Claire won the first game at 25-22, Hopewell the second 25-21, and they captured the third at 25-18. 2-1 Hopewell. We'll be right back after a 3-minute break. We are back. This is game number 4 now of this best of 5 set. Hopewell's taken 2 games. St. Clair's taken 1 so far. St. Clair really needs this one to keep this match going. Katie Mahenko dumps that over the net. Doesn't fool Hopewell. And sure, Becky Novacek, who's been devastating with the attacks, that time gets fooled. There's at least 2 players from Hopewell into the net. And St. Clair, the Panthers draw first blood in game number 4 with an early 1-0 lead. Early substitution, Alex Davin out, Megan McLean in, and that's Katie Kennedy with the serve. What was it? Oh, into the net. Katie Mahenko had a good look at it. Shoulda, woulda, could have been a point, but it ends up being for Hopewell. No early substitution for Hopewell. This is freshman number 20, Jen Munoz, on the floor for the Vikings. Megan McLean keeps the ball in play. Caitlin Brown from Hopewell off the St. Clair block onto the floor. They take the second 2 points here. Just an early 2-1 lead for Hopewell. It'd be nice for the Panthers to get an early side out here and get control of this game back. Katie Mahenko with a nice top spin. Well, but they came back without much on it either. That time, Allie McLean off of 2 tips, off of Heather Peck and off of junior Kelsey Armheiser. And that does even up the match early here in game number 4 at 2-2. Senior Allie McLean with the serve. Megan McLean, the left-hander, into the Hopewell block, and well, that was a place block attempt by 25 Caitlin Brown of Hopewell. Didn't quite work. Would have worked nicely if she had put it over the net. She didn't. She put it on her own side and to the Panthers, leading by 1, 3-2 here in game number 4. Becky Novacek didn't get a chance to put much on that one. McLean off the Hopewell block. Two ball. McLean, sophomore, takes a seat in the bench, and sophomore Alex Davin starts off the serving for the St. Clair Panthers. Back set to Caitlin McGahee on the slide play, and it works again. That play has been working all night, but the Panthers only use it 2, maybe 3 times a match or a game. Be nice to see them see that more. It has soared almost every time it's been tried. Alex Davin again with a serve. 2-point deficit for the Panthers. Hopewell leading 8-6. Oh, that kind of where Becky Novacek got that ball, but dribbled off the left side of her wrist. Fooled Jesse Nelko, and it's a point for the Panthers. Now down by 1, 8-7, and that one falls in. Very nicely done, I'm sure. Caitlin Brown of Hopewell thought that one was going out, but sure enough, that landed a full ball within. That ties up the match at 8-8, and the Panthers put together 3 points in a row here. See if Alex Davin can keep it up. Well, sure enough, that fooled everybody. That's a left hand. They've got the left-hander of their own. Hopewell's freshman number 20, Jen Munoz. She gets the lead back for Hopewell, side out. Serve now back to the Vikings, number 5. That'll be sophomore Liz Emmerich doing the serving for Hopewell. Alex Scory for the Panthers made a valiant effort to dig that one off the floor, but didn't quite get it to somebody who could use it. Point for Hopewell. They've opened up a 2-point lead again at 10-8. Game number 4 of this best-of-5 match. Hopewell's already got 2 games won. St. Clair just won. St. Clair needs this game to keep this match extended, and that's one of those that didn't, well, fooled the Panthers a little bit. I'm sure they were expecting a little bit more power on that, but it's a dump shot that went over the back line into the donut, and point for Hopewell. Christina Zanuck overpasses that one, goes right to the Hopewell side, and a place block by number 30. That's freshman Grace Novacek. Scores for Hopewell. We'll take a timeout here. Jen Hughes calls it to regroup with Hopewell leading 12-8. We'll be right back. Serve to Hopewell after that quick St. Clair timeout. Didn't seem to do much for the Panthers. Christina Zanuck dove for it. Probably should have been Alex Davin's ball, and Hopewell scores an ace. 5-point lead for the Vikings, 13-8. Caitlin McGahey on that slide play again. That time, one of the St. Clair players, I couldn't tell whether it's Katie Kennedy or Caitlin McGahey, into the net that time with a bit of a gift for Hopewell. Point to the Vikings. Now a 6-point lead at 14-8. That one works. That one was in. Caitlin McGahey picks up the serve from the front line, and Katie Kennedy directs it right to the side stripe. Substitution for the Panthers. Senior Allie McLean back on the floor. Alex Scory takes a seat. 5-point lead for Hopewell at 14-9. Stephanie Jones serving for the Panthers. Wow, a lot of power on that one from Jessie Nelko. Well, there wasn't much the Panthers could do about that one. 6-point lead for Hopewell now at 15-9. Senior Allie McLean with the attack into the Becky Novacek block back on our side. Just nicely timed by Hopewell. 7-point lead now for the Vikings at 16-9. Alex Dav digs it out. Stephanie Jones to Allie McLean, just keeps the ball in play. Becky Novacek one more time for Hopewell. Becky Novacek right there is probably their reason why they're ranked number 1 in WPIAL in AA classification. With height and power and skills like that, it's no wonder. 8-point lead for Hopewell. 17-9. On the 2 ball, Caitlin McGahey place blocks it back, but Hopewell picks up that. There's the back set and the slide play to Caitlin McGahey, and sure enough, works again. That's got to be 7-8 of those the St. Clair Panthers have had tonight. It has worked every time it's tried. 7-point deficit for the Panthers, 17-10 Hopewell. Caitlin McGahey, who just made that lovely cross-court attack, given the privilege of serving. 17-10 Hopewell. Becky Novacek again, that time into the Katie Mahenko block. Senior Allie McLean off the wrist of Liz Emmerich, the sophomore from Hopewell. That worked out just fine. St. Clair gets back within 6 now at 17-11, and sophomore Caitlin McGahey keeps with the serve. Becky Novacek into the block that time. Thought maybe St. Clair had a shot at it, but it fell right. That donut. 7-point lead back for Hopewell, 18-11, as they get dangerously close. Series of points here. That'd be real nice. Katie Mahenko shoves it back over. Didn't fool the Vikings that time. Oh, Stephanie Jones. Allie McLean went for it and popped it up in the air with her right. Hopewell. Senior Allie McLean gets one back for the Panthers off the dive of Liz Emmerich of the Vikings. 7-point deficit, though. We need 7 points in a big fat hurry right now. Megan McLean, sophomore, back on the floor, and Alex Davin takes a break. Katie Kennedy, yet another sophomore, with the serve. Diving serve handled, though, dug out by Hopewell. Katie Kennedy with the set to senior Allie McLean. Didn't fool Hopewell on that one, though, too. And can they get the three over? Yes, they do. Let's see what St. Clair can do with it now. On the Megan McLean set to Sister Allie. Right into the Hopewell block. Back on the St. Clair side and point to Hopewell. 8-point lead now at 2012. And a substitution for the Vikings. That's Jen Munoz on the floor. And Liz Emmerich, the sophomore, takes a seat. Katie Mahenko that time gets up nice and high, and very difficult for Jessie Nelko to handle. Finally some power off the St. Clair front line. Let's see what Allie McLean now can do with this serve, with the Panthers needing to find 7 points from somewhere right now, but that's not going to do it. Into the tape. That's a point for Hopewell. 8-point lead now at 21-13. At least we get Becky Novacek on the back line this time. But it curls back over the back line out of bounds. 22-13, 3 points from a match for Hopewell. And Coach Jen Hughes of St. Clair takes the timeout. We'll be right back with Hopewell leading 22-13. Game 4 of this best of 5 match. This could be it if Hopewell keeps this lead. They're leading right now 22-13, 9-point lead. Katie Mahenko up high, but dug out of that nicely by the Vikings. One more time. There's freshman Jen Munoz got that one back. Megan McLean into the net. Oh, that's a good thought. But Megan McLean using the garden shovel that time with a carry. 23-13, 10-point lead now for Hopewell. 2 points from victory, and this is the last match of the season for the Panthers. But it's not quite over yet. Stephanie Jones breeds some confusion over on the Hopewell side. 23-14. Panther deficit here. Katie Mahenko, sophomore. 3 points from a match for Hopewell, and Coach Jen Hughes of St. Clair takes a timeout. We'll be right back with Hopewell leading 22-13. Game 4 of this best of 5 match. This could be it if Hopewell keeps this lead. They're leading right now 22-13, 9-point lead. Katie Mahenko up high, but dug out of that nicely by the Vikings. One more time. There's freshman Jen Munoz got that one back. Megan McLean into the net. Oh, that's a good thought. But Megan McLean using the garden shovel that time with a carry. 23-13, 10-point lead now for Hopewell. 2 points from victory, and this is the last match of the season for the Panthers. But it's not quite over yet. Stephanie Jones breeds some confusion over on the Hopewell side. 23-14. Panther deficit here. Katie Mahenko, sophomore, with the serve. The back set goes. That's playable. It goes up to the roof rafters, but that is playable. Just, yeah, sure enough, yeah. That's what I could see from here. Number 30 freshman Grace Novacek got into the net that time. She was tiptoeing on that center line. But the sideways gravity pulled her in, and point for the Panthers, only down by 8, 23-15. See if we can keep this string going. Dug out by Katie Mahenko. Kayla McGahee dumps it back over to keep the ball in play. A bit of a break again for the Panthers. Caitlin Brown, the senior, got a little bit too much. Goes about 6-7 feet out of bounds off the end line. 23-16 Hopewell. 25 makes a game. They have to win by 2. Katie Kennedy digs it out. to Megan McLean, and Caitlin McGahee gets a shot at it. Didn't have much on it. There was a set that you had to reach behind her to get to that one. Katie Mahenko digs that one out to Stephanie Jones. Over the 2 ball by Hopewell. Megan McLean again with the set. Stephanie Jones again, and that time didn't get enough on it into the net, and that brings us now to match point. Hopewell with an 8-point lead here in game number 4. And senior Caitlin Brown doing the surveying. Alex Corey gets it back over. Touched there by Becky Novacek. The junior's done so much damage tonight, rolls out of bounds, and there's still life for the Panthers. They're still down by 7. 24-17, one more mistake and the match is over, but let's see what Alex Staffen can do with this and see if the Panthers could string together a couple of well-needed points. Christina Zanuck to Stephanie Jones and hoisted over by Alex. Grace Novacek that time. Oh, thought they might have that, but then wide open on the back line, but didn't quite fall for the Panthers. Stephanie Jones again. Dug again by Hopewell. Time to get over on that 3-ball. They've done a great job covering that downside. And that does it. A valiant attempt by the St. Clair Panthers falls short. And that'll be game, set, and match for the Vikings of Hopewell. They win the match 3-1, with St. Clair having won the first game 25-22. Hopewell came back to win the second game 25-1. They won the third 25-18, and here in the final game of the match, 25-17, 3-1 for Hopewell. It's been a great season. We're glad you all were with us. My name's Kevin McGahee. My cameraman's been Will Forrester.